Welcome to week 3 of my Yoga for Beginners series. Last week's class was all about letting go and really softening into the yoga poses. In today's class, we're going to focus on building strength. So this practice will be a little bit harder, maybe a little more intense, but I know you've got this. So let's get started. Just come into a comfortable seat on your mat. So either here and cross-legged or on your knees. Let your hands rest on your thighs or in your lap. Just lengthen up through your spine. But allow your shoulders to soften. So there's one long line of energy from your sit bones up through your spine and out through the crown of your head. Gently close the eyes down if you haven't already. We'll start today's class with a really deep inhale through the nose. And open the mouth and sigh it out. And then just begin to breathe. Those deep, even breaths. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling through the mouth. Just take a couple of breaths like that. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. One more. Inhale through the nose. And open the mouth and sigh it out. And now, just seal the lips. We're going to inhale to the count of 4. And exhale to the count of 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Just keep breathing like this. Equal inhales and equal exhales. Breathing in and out of the nose. Move into some box breathing. And what that means is we'll inhale to the count of 4. We'll hold for the count of 4. And we'll exhale for the count of 4. And then we'll hold for the count of 4. So I'll count you in. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. And just release that now. Inhaling and exhaling just at your regular cadence. Box breathing is really good for calming the nerves, for helping with stress and anxiety. So if you're ever feeling a little bit overwhelmed, you can practice that box breathing. Equal inhales, holds, and exhales. Seal the lips, breathing in and out of the nose. And then begin to move into your Ujjayi breath, that yogic breathing we practiced last week. So on that exhale, you're making that sound, but with the lips sealed. Almost like you're trying to fog up a window or a mirror. Sounds like the ocean. Just waves rolling into shore. Keeping the eyes closed, keeping the breath flowing. For today's meditation, I'm just going to read you some words that really resonated for me by Morgan Harper Nichols. You are not just existing. You are not just breathing. Just means only, and there is so much more to you. If this season isn't looking how you thought it would, and you're not sure how you'll make it through, your strength to take this day by day is one of the most miraculous things you could ever do. And it will not feel like it in the moment, and that's okay. It takes a lot to be human, and to make the most out of this existence when the burden of your struggle strains your mind, body, and heart. So the fact that you have made it this far means something. You are strong in a billion subtle ways, and I just hope you can remember that in seasons like this, on days like today. You have been through so much, and you have been strong anyway. So as you let those words sink in, just bring your hands together in front of your heart. And just take a moment to set an intention for today. Just a few words to guide you through this practice. Or maybe someone that you want to send strength to. You can bring them to your heart and mind now. If you'd like a little affirmation or a mantra, today I offer you the words, I am strong. So if you find yourself getting distracted on your mat, you can come back to those 3 words. You can push those 3 words out to someone who might need a little extra strength at the moment. And just gently blink the eyes open, release the hands down, and roll over your knees to tabletop pose. So hands stacked under the shoulders, pointer fingers facing forward, knees stacked under the hips. I want you to ground down through the left hand, then inhale the right arm up and high to the sky. And then exhale, thread that right arm underneath the left arm. Bring the right temple down to the mat. And then walk that left hand out to the top of your mat. Just a nice little twist. Shoulder opener as well. And you can come up onto your fingertips of that left hand and really push that left hand down and roll further onto your outer right shoulder. And then walking that left hand in. And then pushing down through that left hand as you take the right arm high to the sky for a little counter twist. And then plant that right hand down. Inhale, left arm high, open it up. And then exhale, thread it underneath the right arm. Bring the left ear, the left temple down. And then just walk that right hand out to the top of your mat, coming up to the right fingertips. You can stay here, or you can really push down through that right hand to roll further into that left shoulder. And walk that right hand in underneath you. Round it down as you inhale the left arm high to the sky. And then plant the left hand down on the mat. Now we're going to go straight into our cat-cows here. So on the inhale, we're going to drop the belly, arch the spine, take the gaze up. And on the exhale, round the spine, push the ground away, chin to chest. Inhale, arch the spine, take the gaze up, cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, push the ground away, cat pose. One more here. Inhale, arch the spine, gaze up. Exhale, round the spine, push the ground away. Inhale, coming back through center. We're going to move into our wrist warm up. This time I want you to try flipping both your palms around. So the palms are facing down, fingertips are facing the knees. And then just start making some little gentle hip circles in one direction. And if this is too much on your wrists and forearms, feel free to take this one hand at a time. And then once you've done a few circles in one direction, taking it back into the other direction. And if you took one palm at a time, then make sure you're onto the opposite palm now. And then coming back through center. Flipping the palms around, grounding down through the hands. Now I want you to make sure those pointer fingers are facing forward, wrapping those elbow creases forward. Inhale, tuck the toes under, lift the knees.
And exhale, pushing straight back into your downward facing dog. And just take a moment here to walk out your dog, bending through one knee and then the other. Maybe shaking your head from side to side to release through the neck. And now remembering our down dog alignment. So those hands are shoulder width apart, grounding down through all 10 fingers. You're wrapping your elbow pits forward. The ears are between the biceps and the gaze is back between the feet. And then having a look at your feet, you should have your heels disappearing at the back of your feet. So if you can see your heels, think about wrapping your inner thighs towards one another. So your heels just disappear out the back of your feet. So you just notice those heels rotate out to the sides of your mat. And then we're just going to bend the knees, lowering them down towards the mat. And then straighten the legs, lifting the hips up. Inhale, bend the knees. And then exhale, straighten. One more like that. Inhale, bend the knees. And exhale, straighten. And just take a moment here in your down dog. Just remembering that the very first time you do this is often the hardest. And as the class progresses, you'll gradually begin to soften and feel a little bit of support and comfort in this pose. On your next inhale, rocking forward to plank pose, top of a push-up, warming up those shoulders. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Another one like that. Inhale, rocking forward, plank pose. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Last one here. Inhale, rocking forward, plank pose. This time we're going to lower the knees down, untuck the toes, bending through the elbows, lower all the way down onto our bellies. Keeping the hands underneath the shoulders, tops of the feet pushing down into the mat, wrapping the shoulders, the elbows back and in. Inhale, lift the chest, neck and head off the ground, cobra pose. And exhale, lower the forehead back down. Inhale, chest, neck and head, arching up, cobra pose. Lowering back down, one more like that. Inhale up, cobra pose, warming up that spine. And exhale, forehead back down. Inhale, tuck the toes under, making your way back to tabletop. Take the knees as wide as the mat, big toes together. Sink the hips back over the heels, walking the hands forward, coming into your wide knee child's pose. And just take a moment here to let the body sink in, down towards the ground. One more breath here. And then making your way back to tabletop, making sure you're set up to lift up into your down dog, wrapping those elbow pits forward, really grounding down through the fingers. Inhale, lift the knees off the ground. And exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now I want you to just gently walk to the top of your mat, feet hip distance apart. Interlace the hands behind your back. Roll your shoulder blades together and then just let your hands fall towards the front of your mat. This is just a nice little forward fold with a shoulder opener. You can always shake your head from side to side here to release through the neck. And then release the hands down. And then just keeping a nice bend in the knees, rolling all the way up to standing. Coming into your mountain pose, bringing your big toes together to touch, heels slightly apart, palms facing forward. We're going to do 3 sun salutations here. I'm going to take you through one modified version, and then I'll walk you through the full version for the first time this week. Inhale, reach your arms up, bring them together above your head. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips, hands towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine, hands to shins. Exhale, stepping back to plank pose. Inhale, lower the knees down, untuck the toes. And then exhale, bending through the elbows, lowering all the way down to the ground. Inhale, coming up, cobra pose. Exhale, lowering the forehead back down. Inhale, making your way back to plank. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. One breath here. Inhale. And exhale. On the inhale, bend your knees. And on the exhale, stepping to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reaching the arms all the way up, bringing them together above your head. And exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach up, look up, hands come together. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back to plank. On the inhale, this time we're staying in plank pose, keeping the knees up. And on the exhale, we're bending through the elbows, coming down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, rolling over the toes, coming up into upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. One breath here. Inhale. And exhale. And on the inhale, bending through the knees. And on the exhale, stepping gently to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reaching all the way up to standing. Bring the hands together above your head. And exhale, hands together in front of your heart. So we're going to do that one more time. And you'll notice that we're going through what is called a chaturanga and an up dog, instead of lowering all the way down onto our bellies and coming up into cobra. So on that lower down halfway, we're trying to just lower down so the elbows are at this nice 90-degree angle. So this is what chaturanga looks like in an upright position. And then we're rolling over the toes, straightening through the arms and coming up into what is known as up dog. And we're keeping the thighs and knees off the ground. So I'll walk you through that again. Inhale, reach the arms up above the head. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, plant your hands down, stepping back to plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, lowering down halfway, bending through the elbows, coming down to that 90 degrees. Then inhale, rolling over the toes, coming into your up dog. Now just take one moment here in your up dog, just to check your alignment. So this is cobra pose, but the arms are straight. The thighs and knees are off the ground, so the tops of the feet are pushing down. The chest is pushing through, and the shoulders are drawn down and back. And then rolling over those toes back into downward facing dog. And we'll start to build that full chaturanga up dog into our regular flows as well. So you get plenty of practice at that today. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, step gently to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reaching the arms all the way up to the sky. Hands come together above the head. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Now we're going to heel toe the feet together. Bend through the knees. Sit the hips down and back like you're sitting into a chair. Then sweep the arms down to touch the ground and then reach them high to the sky. So this is your chair pose here. This is a really strong pose. I want you to have a look down, make sure you can still see your toes. And if you can, I want you to shift your hips back and then lengthen through the spine. You're going to be here for one more breath. Inhale. And then exhale, fold. Release through the head and the neck. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down, stepping back to plank. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, that right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, step that right foot between your hands, coming up into your high lunge. So that front knee stacked over the front ankle. That back knee is off the ground, finding strength through that back quad. The back heel stacked over the ball of the back foot. Arms are high, shoulders away from the ears. Sink a little deeper on your next exhale. Big inhale. And then opening up into your warrior two pose. So in our warrior two, this front knee stacked over this front ankle. This back leg is strong. The back foot parallel with the back of the mat. Arms are reaching out in front and behind you. Sink a little deeper on the exhale. Notice if this knee is collapsing in towards your big toe. Rotate it out so it's in line with those middle toes. Inhale, flip the front palm. Reverse your warrior, keeping the bend in the front knee. Nice side body stretch up the right hand side of your body. One more breath. And then this time we're going to cartwheel through into our side angle. So the right forearm or the right elbow is coming down onto the right thigh. And the left arm is reaching
up and over towards the front of your mat. So there's one long line of energy from these left fingertips all the way to the outer edge of your left foot. And then just take your gaze up under the left bicep. And notice if you've got a lot of weight in that right arm, just try lifting it up off the knee and then placing it down gently. One more deep breath in. Coming back up into your warrior two, keeping the bend in that front knee. I know it's hard. And then we're going to straighten that front leg. Reach forward with those right fingertips and then bring that right hand down to the shin, left arm high to the sky. So the arms are at 6 and 12 o'clock. The right leg is straight, the back leg is straight. Really grounding down through the outer edge of that back foot. And your gaze can be up at the left fingertips. Or if you're feeling there's too much in your neck, you can gaze down at your right foot. This is triangle pose, Trikonasana. And you can always bring that hand down, that right hand down to the ground as well. Just doing what's right for you. We just want to make sure we never have that hand on the knee. One more breath. And then cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up and back behind you. Exhale, step that foot between your hands. Coming up into your high lunge, your crescent lunge. So that front knee stacked over the front ankle. Back leg is straight, really finding strength in that back quad. Heel of the back foot over the ball of the back foot. Sink a little deeper on the exhale. And then we're opening up into our warrior two. Back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Front knee over the front ankle. Arms are reaching out in front and behind you. Really make sure you're grounding down through the outer edge of that back foot. Make sure that front knee isn't collapsing into the center. It's wrapping out towards those middle toes. Sink a little deeper. And inhale, flip the front palm. Reverse your warrior. Keeping the bend in the front knee. Reaching the left arm up and back. Nice side body stretch. And then coming back through warrior two. And then bringing that left forearm down to the left thigh, reaching that right arm up and over for side angle pose. Now once again, one long line of energy from that right outer foot all the way through the right fingertips. If you've got a lot of weight pushing down into that left thigh, try lifting that left arm up and then releasing it down gently. Gaze is up under the right bicep. Inhale, come back to your warrior two. One more breath here. And then straighten that front leg. Reach that left hand as far forward as you can get it. Bring that left hand down to the shin. Reach the right arm high to the sky. So once again, your gaze can be up at the right fingertips or down at the ground. This is Trikonasana, triangle pose. One more breath. And then cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lowering down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. And just take one breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, rocking forward to plank. Then exhale, lowering down all the way onto our bellies. Now I want you to reach your arms forward like you're a Superman. Now I want you to ground down through the top of the right foot and the left arm as you reach the right arm forward and kick the left foot up and back. And then lower it down. Lifting the left arm and the right foot. Lower it down. So we're just doing alternating lifts here. Opposite foot, opposite hand. Just strengthening up through the back body. One more each side. And then lowering down. Bring your hands to your lower back. Interlace them together. Zip your legs up so your feet are touching, your inner thighs are touching. Reach those interlaced hands back for your feet. Lift your chest, neck, and head off the ground.
And then lift your feet, ankles, and legs off the ground for locust pose. Keep reaching those hands back like you're trying to take hold of your feet. Inhale, lift a little higher. And then exhale, lowering down to the ground, releasing the hands. Now I'm going to take one more heart opener here. You can choose to take that same variation of locust we just took, Shalabhasana, with the hands interlaced. If you want to take this a little deeper, we're going to try Dhanurasana bow pose. So bring your chin back to center, bending through the right leg, taking a hold of the right ankle or foot with that right hand. Then bending through the left leg, taking a hold of that left foot or ankle. Keeping the knees hip distance apart, we're going to kick the feet into the hands to lift the chest, neck, and head off the ground. So this is bow pose here. If this is too intense for you, you can always go back to that Shalabhasana with those hands interlaced. Keep kicking the hands into the feet to lift a little higher. Inhale. And then exhale, release, opposite ear down to the mat. This time bend through the knees and just windshield wiper the feet from side to side. And then release the feet down onto the mat. Inhale, tuck the toes under. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Make your way back to tabletop. And this time we're going back into just our closed knee child's pose. So knees together, forehead down, shift the hips back over the heels, and reach the hands back by the sides of the body. And then making your way back to tabletop, round down through all 10 fingers, wrap the elbow creases forward. Inhale, lift the knees off the ground, tuck the toes under. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and back behind you. And exhale, step that right foot outside the right hand, and then lower that back foot down. Untuck the back toes. So this is lizard pose. This is quite an intense hip opener. So you can stay here if you want to try just turning that right foot out to about a 45-degree angle. You can try that. I also like to rock onto the outer edge of that front foot, that right foot. It's a nice way to open up through the inner hip. And then walk that right foot in towards center and come up in to your low lunge with your arms high. So that front knee stacked over the front ankle, the arms are high. So you should feel this up through the left hip flexor. And we're going to take that right hand to the top of the right knee and then reach around and take a hold of your left foot for a quad stretch. So if this is too intense, you can just release that back foot and stay in your low lunge. One more breath here. And then release that back foot down. Loose the hands down to the ground. And then just stepping back into your downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg up and back behind you. Then exhale, step that left foot outside the left hand. Lower the back knee down. So we're back in our lizard pose. Once again, you can stay here. You can try turning that left foot out to a 45-degree angle. Or you can try rolling onto the outer edge of that left foot. And you can also just work between all three of those variations. Maybe the 45-degree angle and rolling onto the outer edge of the left foot is the nicest variation for you. And then walking that left foot back in towards center and coming up into your low lunge with your arms high. Front knee stacked over the front ankle. Bring that left hand to the top of the left thigh and then reach around and take a hold of the back foot with your right hand. This is a nice quad stretch and hip flexor opener. One more breath. Gently release that back foot down. Release your hands down to the ground. And then step back to your downward facing dog. And this is your last down dog, so just take any movements that your body might need. Maybe walking your dog by bending through one knee and then the other. And then when you're ready, I just want you to hop through to a seat on your mat, taking your legs out straight in front of you, flexing through your toes. Just get your hands and just remove those flabby bits from your butt, so you're sitting right on your sit bones. Inhale, reach your arms high, lengthen through the spine. Then exhale, fold for Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. And your hands can rest on your shins or rest on the ground beside your legs, or you can take hold of your feet if you can reach. You can also try bending through your knees, resting your belly on your thighs, and then taking a hold of your feet. Just choosing a variation that works best for you. Release through the head and the neck. And then rolling back up. And then gently rolling all the way down onto your back. Draw the right knee into your chest. Squeeze it in towards your armpit. And then taking a hold of that right knee with the left hand, just allow that right knee to drop down to the left hand side of you for a reclined twist, reaching that right arm out to the right. And then drawing that right knee back into your chest, and then lengthen it out long. Draw the left knee into your chest. Take a hold of that left knee with your right hand. Just guide that left knee over to the right, reaching that left arm out long beside you. Drawing that left knee back to center. Squeeze it into your chest. Draw your right knee into your chest as well. Take a hold of the outside edges of your feet or your ankles, bending through the knees, drawing the knees down towards your armpits for happy baby. Maybe rock side to side, or try straightening through one leg and then the other. And when you're ready, release the feet down to the ground with your knees wide, soles of feet together. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. This is Supta Baddha Konasana. If you find this really intense, you can just take those feet further away from you, just to widen the shape of that diamond. You can stay here for our Shavasana today, or if you'd like to take a full Shavasana, you can reach your legs out long, let your ankles splay out to the sides, just let your arms hang out to the sides, palms facing up. And once you're in that Shavasana, just allowing your body to melt down into the ground. Slowly bring some movement to your fingers and your toes. Maybe circling your wrists and your ankles. When you're ready, just reaching your arms up long above your head, reaching through the fingertips, pointing through the toes, really stretching out. Interlace the hands above your head. Reach the palms as far as you can. And bending through the knees, planting the soles of the feet on the ground. And then just rocking over to your favorite side. Maybe using your arm as a pillow. And gently making your way into a comfortable seat, just where we started class today. Let your hands rest in your lap. Close this practice as a really deep inhale through the nose. And open the mouth and sigh it out. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Take a moment to thank yourself for practicing today. Remind yourself of your strength. I am strong. I honor the space inside you in which the entire universe dwells. It's a place of peace and love and truth and happiness. When you're in that place in you, and I'm in that place in me,